Jonathan Lee Riches investigates another classmate of Thomas Matthew Crooks speaks. Got to listen to her words here because she describes a lot about him. She was around him when he was in school. He just recently graduated 2 years ago. I want to share with all of you what she has to say, and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
Class was actually, they said, like one of the smaller classes. It used to be like 400, 500 like years ago. And our classes were roughly around 300. So we knew each other, but there was just some people you knew, some people you knew closer, but it wasn't too close. So that's how most people were sort of aware of Tom, but nothing too deep relationship-wise. Yeah, he did have a few friends. I mean, he wasn't just a loner out there, just like anybody else would. But not a huge friend group, wasn't like the most popular person in the class or anything like that. In the class of 2022, graduating class. There was like a few cliques, like he, you know, in homeroom he would play on his computer a little bit more. He was very into that, and he also, you know, he would kind of sit more alone with a few friends at lunch, you know, like anyone else would. And there were like bigger cliques, smaller cliques. Kind of just how high school is. Just around like graduation, he was like a few seats away from me, and I remember talking to him and another kid just in the auditorium. It was like, oh, how long are we gonna be here type thing, but nothing too hugely notable after that. He was in my homeroom for 8 years, but nothing, we didn't have any notable conversations prior to the graduation. I had some classes with him. He was in like higher math courses, and I was like in higher science ones, so we'd have a few, and then history as well, but nothing, not too many classes here and there. It's just like any normal person really would. Was always nice to kind of people around him. You know, just some people kind of don't fit in as much as others, just how the cliques go in high school. It was shocking, because I mean, it's shocking to hear someone from your high school, you know, that you knew of, would do something as tragic as that. But I actually originally thought it was like a relative, because I heard Thomas is not really a name he usually goes by. He goes by Tom or Tommy. But when I heard the news, I was like, oh, I know the last name of Crooks. Like, I went to high school with him, and then knowing he's from Bethel, and then he like was close down the street from me. It was just completely, I wasn't even awake yet, and I heard all that, and I was supposed to go to the rally, and it was just crazy, you know. I'm thankful that I didn't, because I feel really bad for families that had to endure that, and I'm sure some are going through some nightmares from that, actually. But all of Bethel Park, this is like a community that we're all really close, family orientated, good Americans and great citizens, especially like through Bethel Park, through their high school. I mean, we have different things like the music department, and we're also close with that. Because of that, it's like an experience where you're like, wow, this did not seem to add up to happen in Bethel Park. So our hearts go out to the families that were affected in this. Maybe other people in the school that I thought would probably more be capable of such a thing, and he's definitely not one of them I would think of. But it's also maybe because of the fact that he didn't talk to a lot of people, so you don't really know what's going on inside their heads during that. Just a normal, quiet person, nice to anyone who he interacts with, never said anything partially political like that. So that's why this is such a hard thing to unpack, because no one really knows, no one in the community really knows. We had American politics class. It was half a year, you know, senior year, and he's never made any outward political views. No, nothing you could think of. This could have been something that developed in the past 2 years after, you know, came out of high school, but we're not really sure. No one's truly sure. Yeah. I know some people were saying, obviously, he was relentlessly bullied and a loner. I personally wasn't aware that he was being bullied. I know it's hard for school districts to really get a handle on that sometimes. I would hope Bethel would get a handle on that if that did happen. I don't know if it happened a little bit, but if it would happen a lot, I feel like I would have noticed a lot more. So I don't really think he was alone or bullied a lot. Every time I'll try to get my mind off of it, I get contacted with more reporters, and it just brings me all back, and it's sad. Like I was so nauseous on Sunday hearing about it, because you don't think something like that would happen so close, something so natural to come so close to home. So like I could try to speak for all of Bethel Park. We just really want to move on from this, because it's not something normal for us. It was quite an anomaly for us.
Okay, folks, what do you think? Another classmate spoke. He was shy in school, didn't have much friends. He went by Tommy or Tom. He specialized in math. He used his computer in school, she said, which I find interesting, considering there is like zero social media presence of this guy. But one thing I'm coming to the conclusion of when it comes to this guy, he was an anarchist, folks. That's what it seems like. He didn't like Trump. He didn't like Biden. He didn't like anyone in the federal government. Matter of fact, I think he wanted to annihilate the federal government. That's what it seems like here, folks. Authorities apparently searched his phone and found that he was searching for the DNC and a Trump rally. I don't think he liked any political candidate at all. Haven't seen anything out there indicating he leaned towards any candidate. Now, years ago, he was a registered Republican. Maybe that's because his parents made him register as a Republican, or maybe he was a Republican back then, and maybe he was just trying to be a Republican to infiltrate Republicans. Then, apparently he donated to left progressive Act Blue type of organization right when Biden got inaugurated. So now you're seeing both sides of the fence here. Personally, I think he was an anarchist. And probably more information will come out. I'm interested to know more about his Discord account that was removed. And apparently he was on a gaming system called Steam, a gaming system. He used a gaming system, so we're looking into that. But it's always good to hear from classmates to try to get an understanding on who this guy is. And we will continue to share on JLR Investigates. Hit that sub button, like, notification button. Who is this guy? Do you agree with my assessment or do you disagree? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading your comments. And when more information comes out about this guy and about this case, I will share with all of you. I am JLR Investigates. Stay tuned.